Thank you. Thank you very much. Father Byron, I cannot thank you enough for those very generous words. As my mother would say, every word was true. Brother Patrick Ellis, whom I came to know and admire so much when he was at LaSalle University in Philadelphia. Dean Ralph Rohner, whom I met on the occasion of my son's graduation from the law school and the day I received my honorary degree. Thanks to Father Byron and the faculty and trustees of this great university. Dean Stephen Franchino, whom I've come to know at the Villanova University School of Law and spoke there a few years ago, and my son Patrick graduated from that law school. Dean Garvey, members of the faculty, members of the Board of Trustees, and ladies and gentlemen. You know, whenever I get introduced the way Father Byron just introduced me, I have to tell a story, because one of the things in this business that I've been in now for about 30 years, the business of politics and government, that you've got to understand is that you never take yourself too seriously. And whenever I'm introduced that way, I have to kind of pinch myself, because if you're not careful, you begin to believe at least part of what people say about you. And that was brought home to me very directly a couple of years ago when I was running for re-election to this office. I'd been in office for 4 years. I was an incumbent, and I was running in 1990 to be re-elected. In Pennsylvania, we get 2 terms, and then you're finished. And I was running for the 2nd term. It was in a small town up in northwestern part of our state. Tom Donnelly, Monsignor McGowan, Father Byron, Brother Patrick Ellis know where it is. It's called Oil City, Pennsylvania. A small, conservative, western Pennsylvania town. It was a Sunday afternoon about 2 weeks before the election. And of course, you're driving down the stretch and the adrenaline is flowing and you're selling every minute of the day. And I was out there doing what we call the retail part of this business, talking to people, which is kind of a lost art in the days of the 30-second soundbite, but I was actually doing that just before my re-election in 1990. And you know, we like to think that there are at least a few people out there who heard about something we've tried to do, but sometimes nothing could be further from the truth. In any event, there I am, 2 weeks to go and all charged up. We walk into this gas station, this friend of mine and I. There's a fellow there pumping gas, and I walk up to him with my brochure in hand and offer it to him and say to him, excuse me, sir, my name is Bob Casey. I'm running for governor of Pennsylvania. And he continues to look down at the ground and continues to pump the gas, totally unimpressed. And it got a little bit embarrassing because he wasn't saying anything and I wasn't saying anything. And finally he looked up from his mission, looked up at me and he said, "Oh yeah," he said, "I heard about you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to vote for you." Doesn't happen too often. In Oil City, Pennsylvania, if you're a Democrat. But I made the fatal mistake. I should have known better, but I asked him why. He said, because anybody'd be better than the guy that's in there now. So lesson number 1, never take yourself too seriously. But I will be serious for just a moment and say that for me to be here today is a special honor. My old friend, Father Byron, is being honored today in the dedication of this magnificent facility, and I'm very proud to be here. He and I have been close friends for many years, not just professionally or in terms of the professional relationships that go with being in public office and he being the president of a university in the case of his work in my hometown of Scranton and then coming here to the Catholic University of America. And by the way, I was here the day he became the president of the Catholic University of America. And I noted something that one of the previous speakers said here today, and that is that ecumenism has come full circle when a Jesuit can be the president of the Catholic University of America. And that was a long time ago. And when I told my daughter, my oldest daughter, Margie, I was coming here today, she said, remember to mention the fact that Father Byron baptized your first and oldest grandson, her son, Jack McGrath, some years ago. And my wife, Ellen, reminded me that Father Byron officiated at the nuptial mass of my daughter, Mary Ellen. He was a very close friend of a Jesuit who passed away too young, Reverend Henry Butler, who was a cousin of my wife's and a very close friend of Father Byron's. And through Hank Butler, we got to know Father Byron literally as a member of the family. So you can understand, I think, the personal sense of pride and honor that I feel in being here today on this occasion, dedicated as it is to this man who has done so much for this institution, for the University of Scranton. He's brought great honor and great achievement to his work as a member of the Society of Jesus. And I'm extremely honored and very proud to be here on an occasion that is so important to him and so important to this university. I come today to speak on a subject that talks to the professional ideals of the people of this law school, a school in the mainstream of the American legal profession, and also committed to the education mission of the Catholic University of America. What is that mission? Well, the university declares itself to be, and I quote, a community of scholars set apart to discover, preserve, and impart the truth in all of its forms, with particular reference to the needs and opportunities of the nation. With particular reference to the needs and opportunities of the nation. And the statement continues, faithful to the Christian message as it comes through the church and faithful to its own national traditions. The Catholic University of America has unique responsibilities to be of service, and all these words are important. Unique responsibilities to be of service to Christian thought and education in the Catholic community, as well as to serve the nation and the world. The mission statement of this law school underscores these very ambitious and expansive commitments, these guiding principles that chart the course of this institution. The law school, in its statement, pledges, and I quote, to support and advance the aims and goals of the university as a whole. Specifically, the law school declares that it aspires to develop, and I quote, professional skills within constraints of moral responsibility. Professional skills within the constraints of moral responsibility.